Hello and welcome to Community Crafting with your local library. Today's project is framed, a trinket jewelry type holder. I'll show you some finished products. This is a larger version and you'll see this has a extra possible bracelet holder here, which is, I'll turn it to the side. It's just a push pin, thumbtack if you will. And then there's this one that does not have that. I'll move this one out of the way. And you can choose your fabrics. This one actually has an item in there. There you go. But they're picture frames and we just modify them. So let me move these out of the way and we'll get started. These are our supplies. We have hair rollers. They come in various colors, different sizes, different thicknesses, so lengths and thickness are optional for whichever frame you choose. I'm going to go back to this one. This one utilizes the thinner and longer rollers, where this finished product has the shorter and thicker. So we are going to utilize the shorter and thicker rollers today. Let me move these out of the way. And as you can see, I have a 4x4 frame. We're just gonna disassemble it. So open up the back. And we're gonna take these out. And we're gonna remove the glass. You just wanna make sure you're careful. Put this off to the side. You don't wanna necessarily have it break. We do not need the glass for this project. And to make this a little bit easier for sizing, you're going to put the sheet that comes in it so that the image is against the cardboard, and then you're going to put it back into the frame. And then what you're going to do is take your pencil and you're going to trace the inside of the frame edge, because that's the visible area, and that'll give you the easiest length to cut the rollers so that they fit within the frame. So no matter what size frame you have, this will work. This one I did not do that with, and you can see that the rollers don't necessarily sit as you would hope they would. So that being done, we're going to put this off to the side, and that's our fabric we're going to use. So let's get started. We're going to measure our rollers. Actually, first, the rollers are going to come looking like this. They have these little ends. You want to take out the middle. So if you just push down, you'll see expose the wire and just let that fall off. Then carefully pull it through the other end. Remove both of those. You can save them, you can throw them into the trash, do what you want with them, but you don't need them for this project. And these are just shy of 4 inches. This is a 4-inch square frame. So you need some room for the fabric and you need some room to just play. So these are not quite 4.5 inches what we cut them. Let's look. So we go, yeah, they're right around approximately 4 1/4, 4.5, depending. So we're going to cut these other two the same length. And again, make sure that the wire has been removed. So we're going to cut those. Oops. All right, doesn't have to be perfect. They will be covered by the fabric. And then we'll do the same with this one. For the 4x4 frame, you do need all 6 rollers that come in the pack. For larger frames or smaller frames, obviously you would adjust the quantity accordingly. And if they're thinner, you may need more. They won't take up as much room, so you just kind of have to play with it. All right, so we should cut a little bit more. All right, so our rollers are cut. We have this. Now you can glue directly to the cardboard backing, but what I found is, depending on the fabric that you choose, you want to glue to the sheet that comes in there, because this I glued directly to the cardboard backing. And if you want to, like this one, some people said, oh, the more the faces are this way, right side up. Well, if you glue it directly to the back, you can't rotate it. So if you glue it to the paper, you can flip it around in the frame however you think you want once it's complete. All right, so we are going to start gluing. I lied. We're going to cut the fabric. So you need, for the 4-inch frame, you need about 7 inches is usually pretty good. It gives you excess so that if something goes wrong, you can still have enough to have excess to fix. All right, so let's give, you know what, that's got the tag on it. We're gonna go this way. Have I made y'all seasick yet? All right, I'll try harder if not. So let's go here. Oh, let me turn it this way so y'all can see it. How about that? That's probably better. So it doesn't have to be exact. Yeah. So let's go here. That should be good. Well, maybe these scissors are cut. I should have grabbed the other ones. And if you cut extra fabric, that's fine. It's just if it's too short, that's the problem. And don't be afraid, the edges won't be seen, so. All right. Okay. So let's get this. And let's figure out which way we want it. Or it doesn't really matter because we can rotate it. All right, ready? You're going to start with one roller. And we're going to make sure we have glue. You want to put this over here. You're going to run a line of glue inside the mark that you made when you traced the frame. And you want to, as best you can, center between all your pencil lines. Give it a little bit of room at the top, or at the edge anyway. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it, but the pencil lines are fairly light. But you just kind of want to center it from side to side as best you can. And then once that first one is in place, you're going to begin gluing your fabric. This one I don't know that it matters, because again we can rotate it, so yeah. All right, so let's go this way. And now when you start gluing the fabric, you want a craft stick or something to help you so you don't burn your fingers. So you run a line of glue over here. Oops. And then you're gonna lay your fabric down. And this helps keep the, well, there we go. That's better. Keep the glue in place with the fabric. And you don't burn your fingers. If I didn't glue it to the table. All right. So now we have this. And now you just run the glue on the other side. And we're gonna get our craft stick. so that we don't burn our fingers. And we want it to be somewhat snug. There we are. And now you just keep going with your next roller. So now we're going to run one more line. There we are. Don't worry about the edges, you get those at the end. So, right. And again, you're just trying to center it as best you can on the paper. And I did try to color coordinate the color of the roller with the fabric. If it doesn't match, or if you can see it underneath, you can always paint the roller. All right, so now we're gonna glue this side. And I'll do one more, and then we'll have the magic of video fast forward. All right, so there's that. We'll do one more. And I'll put this here. And you can kind of see it start coming together. There. All right. Okay, so we finished adhering all the rollers, and we'll lift this up so you can see the ends of them. So there they are, they're all in their space. And what we're going to do now is trim some of this excess off these edges so that we don't have as much to fight with anyway. And we're going to glue the edges down a little bit. So you do want to leave a little excess. So right now we're just going to get the majority of the fabric out of the way. And I did change scissors because this has a sharper blade. Cut this. All right, that's better. The cut doesn't have to be pretty, it just needs to make it less. So, all right, so now when you're gluing the edges, you just want to glue close to the roller. And then again, make sure you have your stick and you're just going to press the fabric down so that the roller isn't seen underneath. So it'll be similar to this edge when you get it. So it's just a nice little tuck. All right, and you just keep going on for each one. We're going to do another one. Well, if I don't glue the fabric. And then after everything is glued, we'll come back and trim the remaining excess. So let's go with this one. All right, and we're just going to keep going until we finish this side, and then we're going to do the other side. So you'll see that I finished gluing all the edges around, and at this point there's really no right way or wrong way or upside down. So I'm going to start trimming the edges of the excess fabric, and I like to flip it over because then you can see exactly where the paper is to know the edge that you want to cut. But if you want to cut a little bit and then a little bit more till you get to the right edge, that's fine. All right, so we're just going to keep trimming all the way till we get all the edges trimmed, and then we will put it back in the frame. All right, welcome back, and we have trimmed all the edges so that it should look something like this. And now we're gonna bring back the cardboard backing, and depending on how you want it to sit, so if you want it to sit like this, or this, yeah, let's go this, no, it doesn't matter, either way. We're just gonna put it together. So this will go in the frame. And again, you're not putting the glass in because as you can see, it sticks out of the frame. And then you're just gonna push the holders that hold the backing in. You're gonna push those down and you're done. And let's test it. There we have it. You have your own framed jewelry holder or trinket holder, depending. And at this point is when you would determine if you want to embellish the actual outside of the frame, or actually before you would put this in, if you want to add any extra holders for bracelets or anything that may hang, you can add those to the outside of the frame. Or you can glitter or paint the frame. This one was just iridescent and we thought it looked pretty good the way it was. So those are your options. Hopefully you've enjoyed this craft, and we also hope you will join us for the next session of community crafting with your local library. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.